Hello, welcome to our daily session of lessons. So today we are going to look at prime factorization. Uh, Please subscribe to our channel, like our lessons, share with your friends and comment. Continue studying with us or on our daily lessons. Uh, After today's lesson, you should be able to draw a factor tree for any number using the prime factors. You should also be able to express a number as a product of the prime factors. You should also write the prime factors of a number in exponential form after our today's lesson. So if you look at what prime factorization is, prime factorization in itself, it is a way of expressing a number as a product of the prime factors. So prime factors are factors which have only, prime factors are factors which are possessed by numbers with only two factors, one and itself, or prime factors are numbers which have two factors, that is one and itself. For example, 3 here is a prime factor because it has two factors, one and itself. 7 is also a prime factor. 5 is a prime factor. So if we multiply 3 times 7, we are using only prime factors, that is 3 and 7. So in this case, if we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5, we are multiplying prime factors only. If you have to look at what exponents are, because we shall be using exponents somewhere. So basically, exponents, for them, they are used to show the number of times a number, which we always call the base, is multiplied by itself. So for example, if we look at a number like 6 here, so 6, we've given it a power of 3. So 6 is what we call the base, and then this 3 here is what we call the exponent. If you have to look at, to express this fully, 6 to the power 3 will be written as 6 times 6 times 6. So we multiply 6 3 times. So the power, or what we call the exponent, shows us how many times we are supposed to multiply the base, and the base is the number that is multiplied, the number of times that the power shows. Okay, so meaning that you shouldn't always be confused when you see the power and when you see a base when dealing with exponents. So looking more at exponents, writing terms in exponential form, one, we have to first arrange them from the smallest to the largest. You can see in this case, we are starting with 2, then 3, then 5. So after doing that, because you'll have drawn a factor tree, which we shall see how we draw it, then you write down the base numbers starting with the smallest. So the first base number will be the 2, then the second base number will be this 3, and the third one will be the 5. So that's why we have a 2 here, we have a 3, and we also have a 5. So after we add exponents, the exponents are clearly in red. So the exponents is how many times the base multiplies itself with itself. So like 2 multiplies with itself twice. So that's why the power is 2 here. Then 3 multiplied by itself twice. So that's why the power is 2, and 5 once. So the power is 1. Then finally, we add the multiplication sign. So it will be 2 power 2 multiplied by 3 to the power 2 multiplied by 5 to the power 5. So what we have here finally is we have expressed, or is the final expression of a number which is expressed in exponential form. If your factor trees are basically used to show how prime factorization is done, and in this case we have an example here. which applies or which shows how a factor tree is done, or factorizing by use of a factor tree is done. So a factor tree is basically a table which shows us how we are dividing a certain number, which we are expressing as a product of its prime factors with the various prime factors. So whenever you're drawing a factor tree, you start with the smallest prime factor, because the smallest is 2, then we have 3, then 5, 7. So you start with the smallest prime factor. So in this case, we started with a 2. 36 we divide it with a 2, then 18 divided by 2, we get 9. So 9 can no longer go into 2. So we go to the next prime factor, or we test with the next prime factor, 3. So if it divides by 3, then we get 3. 3 can also be divided by 3, then we get 1. Then finally, we multiply these numbers here that we use to divide the number that we are dealing with. So that's why we have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. These numbers are the ones which we got from up here. So finally, we can write these numbers in exponential form, which will be 2 power 2 multiplied by 3 to the power of 2. Still, you can look through it, and I'm sure you'll be able to see that everything works out very well, and there is nothing that is quite difficult in this expression. Okay, so let's look at another example here. So in this example, we are basically expressing the number 4,312 in terms of the prime factors. So we still do the same. You can see we started with the least prime factor, which is 2, and then we went to 2 still, 2 can go there. Then when 2 doesn't go, we go to the next. So the next is 3, 3 cannot, then 5 cannot, you go to the next, which is 7, and then to the next. Then after, the final answer is this, which is got after we have multiplied all these numbers here. So basically, that is how we deal with prime factorization of numbers. So remember to subscribe to our channel, and also to share and like all our videos, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot from them. Thank you.